Hello, this is Ultra Squad, and you're watching the City of Senntisten quest guide. To start this quest, you will first need to complete As an Address quest, and you will need full completion of the Battle of the Monolith mini-quest. You will also need level 75 Slayer, 74 Magic, and 74 Archaeology. To complete the quest, you will need a Dragonstone, and you will need some way to kill gargoyles. I also suggest to bring your archaeology journal and some good combat gear. You may want to bring a sign of the porter and a beast of burden. You can begin the quest by talking to Ariane, who will be just outside the heart of Gielinor, which is in the desert south of Nada. Accept the quest and enter the Elder Halls. There will be some dialogue with Ariane and Karos about what to do about the eggs of the Elder Gods, which are close to hatching. There's a lot of dialogue in this quest, so I've sped it up for this video. Asanadra will then appear. There will be some dialogue, you say whatever you want about him, and he will give you the Shard of Erebus. This is currently useless, but will probably be useful for the Elder God Wars dungeon later on. He wants to speak to you in private, so use your journal to go back to the guild, and then head upstairs, where he is disguised as Dr. Nabernick. He wants you to gather the assistance of 5 gods: Seren, Zamorak, Ixthlarin, Saradomin, and Armiddle. Three of those can be found at the council in Burthorpe. Head up the stairs and speak to Seren. He goes off to do his own thing, but may still prove useful later. teleport to Falador and head into the castle. Saradomin is in his usual throne. Discuss with him and he will also agree to help. Finally, Armadil is in his tower north of Port Sarim Lodestone. He will quickly agree to help when you talk to him. Moira is also there, so speak to her, and she takes you to Zamorak's hideout. Speak to him, and he will agree to help as well. Return to the guild and speak to Esanadra again. After reporting events, he will tell you to go to the new excavation, which is the most northwestern one near the Soul Rift. Intern Jimmy is outside and confirms you are allowed in. Enter the area and you will find yourself near the city of Senntisten. You will see Asanadra, who is now in his full form. Speak to him, and he will tell you that you need to excavate the forum entrance. This will take some time, and it will give you materials which may fill up your inventory, so a sign of the porter may be useful just to prevent it from becoming full. Alternatively, you can simply drop the materials since you don't need them. Once you have cleared the entrance, speak to Azanadu again, who tells you you will need to search the pedestal to get a figurine. This figurine will require 1 dragonstone to be restored at an archaeology bench. Go back to the guild, use a dragonstone to restore the figurine, return to the city and place it on the pedestal. This will open the way into the city. Follow Azanadu through to the cathedral. You can ask him some questions, and when you're ready, bring in the eggs. He asks you to find some wards. However, you will not find them. All you will find is a light orb. I found mine in a west bookcase on the southern section. Speak to Azanadu again, who says that the wards are likely outside the western side. Be wary in this area, as there are shadows all over the area that will cause continuous damage. After some time, this damage will become very severe and will kill you. It is not a dangerous death, as you will simply be returned to the cathedral. What the shadow does is prevent you from freely exploring. You will be safe if you are inside any building, or if you are near one of the light orbs that has been placed on a pedestal. The first ward is in the very first building immediately down the steps from the cathedral's west side. Take the ward and return to Azenadra. Be aware that whilst you are carrying the ward, the light orbs will not protect you from the shadow, so you will need to move quickly. The first ward is in the very first building immediately down the steps from the cathedral's west side. Take the ward and return to Azenadra. Be aware that whilst you are carrying the ward, the light orbs will not protect you from the shadow, so you will need to move quickly. Returning the first ward should be easy, and when you do, Saren will appear. After some discussion, she will begin draining the eggs to delay their hatching. You will need to gather 3 more wards, and these will be much more difficult. You will need to make careful use of the light orbs, as well as hiding in buildings, and you will need to solve puzzles and fight monsters. An important step is gathering additional light orbs. An easy one can be found in the same room with the first ward. You should place one of your orbs on the pedestal that is out to the west. For now, collect the 2 most recent leg lobes that you placed, and head back, south, up the stairs and back into the blood bank. The shelves in the western room of the blood bank contain various kinds of blood. You must collect different kinds of blood to return to the blood bottle near the door. The correct quantities of blood are 2/8 human blood, 3/8 unicorn, 1/8 dragon blood, and 2/8 Saliancy blood. After entering the correct amount of blood, the puzzle is solved and you will be teleported into a small room with the blood warden. You must fight the blood warden at close range, since if you try to run away, he will use magic to drag you back. Once the blood warden is defeated, you will then be able to claim the ward in that room. Use the blood bottle next to the door that you came in to get out. You now need to bring the ward back to Azenadra. Bear in mind that since the light globes will not work whilst you are carrying the wards, you may take a significant amount of damage. It may be helpful to use Surge with Double Surge, Mobile or Bladed Dive. However, this is not necessary at this stage if you have a little bit of food. Once you get the ward back to Azenadra, there will be another cutscene where Saradomin appears. Again, after some discussion, he begins draining the eggs. Enter the southeast room, a short dialogue will occur, and there will be another light orb that you can pick up. This room has a ward which is surrounded by 4 gargoyles. Click on one of the gargoyles and a cutscene will occur where they awaken and leave the room. Before you can claim this ward, you will need to defeat all 4 gargoyles, and they are spread out over the city. The first gargoyle is right outside, near the light orb. Click on it to awaken it, and you will fight it. Be sure to fight near the light orb so you don't take damage from the shadow. Be aware that you will need some way to finish the gargoyle, such as a rock hammer or a legendary pet ability. The drawers correspond to letters, and the book contains the names of 4 significant characters. By spelling out the names using the drawers, you can solve the puzzle. The final result should make a capital I as shown, with the central 3 on the top and bottom, and the entire middle column. If you've done this correctly, the shadow ward will then be released. You can go downstairs and collect the ward. Getting this ward back to Azenadra is by far the most difficult part of the quest. You will have to go a long way, and there is no protection from orbs. A safer option is to try and take shelter in some of the buildings along the way. These can include the building where you got the ledger and the blood bank. Once you get the 4th ward back to Azenadra, the final cutscene will begin. Our middle appears, there's some conversation, he begins siphoning the eggs, and then a projection of Karapak appears under the control of the Elder Gods. He warns you that his forces are coming to attack. However, this is a job for another quest, and when the cutscene finishes, you have completed this quest. You'll receive some experience, access to powerful new spells, and an upgrade to your Pontifex ring. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to see more like this, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time for more content like this.